Welcome to SAT Prep Thursday. Today we're doing the College Board SAT Practice Test number 7, Part 4, number 21 through 38. This is a calculator-approved section, so I will be using either the TI-30XS or the TI-30XA. Also, there's a file link in the description for this practice test. The scatter plot above shows the number of grams of both total protein and total fat for 8 sandwiches on a restaurant's menu. The line of best fit for the data is also shown. According to the line of best fit, which of the following is closest to the predicted increase in total fat in grams for every increase of 1 gram of total protein? So if we just simply chose 2 points, like right here, let's call this point A, and point A is at 49,75. And let's call this point B. So point B, it looks like it is at about 9,18. This means simply using the slope formula, so I can say 75 minus 18 over 49 minus 9, which is 57 over 40, or approximately 1.425. That means that C, 1.5, is the answer. A survey was given to residents of all 50 states asking if they had earned a bachelor's degree or higher. The results from 7 of the states are given in a table above. The median percent of residents who earned a bachelor's degree or higher for all 50 states was 26.95%. What is the difference between the median percent of residents who earned bachelor's degrees or higher for these 7 states and the median for all 50 states? So we need to find the median, which is the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and mark off the lowest and the highest. I'm then going to mark off the next lowest and the next highest. The next lowest and the next highest, leaving us a median, a middle of 27.9. Now, 27.9 minus the median for all 50 states, which was 26.95, gives us 0.95, so B is the answer. A cylindrical can containing pieces of fruit is filled to the top with syrup before being sealed. The base of the can has an area of 75 centimeters, and the height of the can is 10 centimeters. If 110 centimeters cubed of syrup is needed to fill the can to the top, which of the following is closest to the total volume of the pieces of fruit in the can? So we can understand that volume itself is pi r squared h. Now it says that the base of the can has an area of 75 centimeters squared. The area of a circle is pi r squared, meaning pi r squared in this case is 75 meters squared. And we also know that h is 10. So 10 times 75 means we have a volume of 750 for the can. Now if we filled after the fruit, we then poured in syrup, and we used 110 of the syrup. That left 640 that was fruit, so C is the answer. The function above models a height h in feet of an object above ground, t seconds after being launched straight up in the air. What does the number 72 represent in the function? So the key here is understanding that right here, this negative 16, this we're talking about gravity. And this plus 110, this is how much it has been launched into the air with as its force. So this 72, this is the height that everything started at, so A is the answer. Questions 25 and 26 refer to this following information. The table above gives the typical amount of energy per gram expressed in both food calories and kilojoules of 3 micronutrients in food. If X food calories is equivalent to K kilojoules of the following, which best represents the relationship between X and K? Well, if we're looking at this and we understand that food calories is X and kilojoules is K, what we're really looking for is a K divided by X. So 16.7 divided by 4, and that's going to give us 4.175. And 3.7 divided by 9, that's going to give us 4.189. 16.7 divided by 4 will give us 4.175. all of these are 4.1 and over 5. So let's call it 4.2. Or simply that k over x is equal to 4.2, meaning that k is equal to 4.2 times x, giving us b is the answer. If 180 food calories in a granola bar come entirely from p grams of protein, f grams of fat, and c grams of carbohydrates, which of the following expresses f in terms of p and c? So we have to be adding this up as 180 being equal to all of these things from the previous page. 4 times p, because it was 4 food calories from protein, plus 9 times f, because there were 9 food calories from fat, plus 4 times c, because there was 4 food calories from carbohydrates. Now what we're trying to do is we're trying to get f all by itself. This means 180 minus 4p minus 4c is equal to 9f. Now both of these have a minus 4, so we can factor that out, giving us 180 minus 4 times p plus c is equal to 9f. And we can divide both sides by 9. Now 180 divided by 9 will give us 20. Minus 4 divided by 9, and we'll just leave it as 4 over 9. And then p plus c, and this is equal to f, leaving us with b is the answer. The world's population has grown at an average rate of 1.9% per year since 1945. There were approximately 4 billion people in the world in 1975. Which of the following functions represents the world's population p in billions of people t years since 1975? So we're going to start out, we understand that we're talking about p of t, and this is going to be equal to AR to the t power. The rate in which it has grown is 1.9%, which as a percent would be 0.019. But the actual growth rate would be 1.019 because it would have to go up. So with 4 billion people, P of t would be equal to 4 times 1.019 to the t power, t being the number of years since 1975. That leaves us with A is the answer. In the xy plane above, a point not shown with the coordinates st lies on the graph of the linear function f. If s and t are positive integers, what is the ratio of t to s? So we're looking at a ratio of t to s. Now, t is y, so that's like having a 6. S is the x-coordinate, or the 3. This means we're looking at a 6 to 3 ratio, but we would want to simplify that, saying 2 to 1, giving us C is the answer. A circle in the xy plane has the equation x plus 3 squared plus y minus 1 squared is equal to 25. Which of the following points does not lie in the interior of the circle? So we're going to start by simply making a graph of this circle. Now I can see that it has a center of -3, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 1, and there is the center of my circle. It said it has a radius of 5. So if I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I now can basically see my circle in this horribly drawn graph. So if I went to check these points and I went -7, 3, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3, I would go 1, 2, 3, that appears to be inside. How about -3, 1? So -1, 2, 3, and up 1, that is the center of my circle, so B is not the answer. 0, 0 is definitely inside the circle, but 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, this is outside the circle, meaning D is the answer. The manager of an online news service received a report about a number of subscriptions sold by the service. The manager estimated that the percent increase from 2012 to 2013 would be double the percent increase from 2013 to 2014. How many subscriptions did the manager expect would be sold in 2014? So we're going to go for a percent of change, meaning 5880 minus 5600 divided by 5600 is going to give us 0.05, which is 5%. So with that, if 5% divided by 2, that would give us 2.5%. Now this is a 2.5 increase, which means as we want to multiply it, it's going to be 1.025 times the number of subscriptions, 5880. And this is going to give us 6,027, meaning B is the answer. In 1854, during the California Gold Rush, each ounce of gold was worth $20, and the largest known mass of gold found in California was worth 62,400 in that year. What was the weight in pounds of the mass of gold? And let's remember that 16 ounces is a pound. So let's start by saying $62,400 divided by $20 means there was 3,120 ounces. So 3,120 ounces divided by 16 ounces per pound is 195 pounds. What is the slope of line T? We're going to use the slope formula where we simply say change of y over change of x. And we're going to use two easily identifiable points, meaning we're going to wind up with -2 minus a -27 over 5 divided by 5 over 2 minus a -6. This is going to give us 17 over 5 over 17 over 2, which we could simply rewrite as 17 over 5 times 2 over 17, eliminating the 17s, giving us 2 over 5 is the answer. The score on a trivia game is obtained by subtracting the number of incorrect answers from twice the number of correct answers. If a player answered 40 questions and obtained a score of 50, how many questions did the player answer correctly? So we can understand that the player answered 40 questions. This is both as they were answered correctly and they were answered incorrectly. We also understand how things were scored, that correct answers were scored twice. We subtracted the number of wrong answers and we got 50 points. So let's add both these equations together where we can eliminate the y's, get 3x is equal to 90, or x is 30, and that's our answer. Point C is the center of the circle above. What fraction of the area of the circle is the area of the shaded region? Much easier than it would seem. Let's remember there's 360 degrees in a circle. 100 of those degrees are covered in that area, so we get 100 over 360. Simplifying that, we get 5 over 8, which is our answer. If the ordered pair xy satisfies the system of equations above, what is one possible solution of x? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do some substitution since they're both set up equal to y. This is going to give us x squared minus 4x plus 4 is equal to 4 minus x. Now we're going to move everything to one side of the equation, giving us x squared minus 3x is equal to 0. I'm thinking about the zero product rule. Let's factor out x's, so I have x times x minus 3 is equal to 0. This means that either 0 is an answer or 3 is an answer. So I can say that x is equal to 0 or 3. In the figure above, tangent of B is equal to 4 over 3. If BC is equal to 15 and DA is equal to 4, what is the length of DE? Let's fill in some information that we do know here. They said DA is equal to 4. They said BC, all of this, is equal to 15. Now we can know that the tangent of an angle is equal to the opposite over the adjacent, and that the tangent of B was equal to 3 over 4. This means what we're looking at here is a 3, 4, 5 triangle. So the big triangle is going to be equal to 3 times the small triangle. This would mean that AB is equal to 3 times 4, which is 12. This is going to give us BD is equal to 8, which means this entire side AB is equal to 12. By thinking about my triangles as the small over the large, in order to figure out these proportions, it's going to give me 8 over 12, which is equal to 2 over 3. So DE is equal to 2 over 3 times AC. And AC is equal to 3 times 3. Remember, this is a 3, 4, 5 triangle, meaning AC is 9. So DE being 2/3 of AC is 2/3 of 9, which means it is 6. For questions 37 and 38, we're going to refer to this information. The same 20 contestants on each of 3 days answered 5 questions in order to win a prize. Each contestant received 1 point for each correct answer. The number of contestants receiving a given score on each day is shown in this table. What is the mean score of the contestants on day 1? So for this case, we only need to be looking at this line right here. This is going to give us a 2 times 5, a 3 times 4, a 4 times 3, a 6 times 2, a 2 times 1, and a 3 times 0. So we can do some nice simple multiplying to get 10, 12, 12, 12, 2, and 0. Now if we add all these up, we're going to get 48. But there was a total of 20, so we can divide by 20 to get 2.4, which is our answer. No contestant received the same score on 2 different days. If a contestant is selected at random, what is the possibility that the selected contestant received a score of 5 on day 2 or day 3, given that the contestant received a score of 5 on one of the 3 days? So we're looking at if they get 5 out of 5 on day 2 or 3 divided by the total. This sounds like it's very confusing. So we're talking about 5 out of 5 on day 2 and day 3. There were 2 that got 5 out of 5 on day 2 and 3 that got 5 out of 5 on day 7. There were 7 that got 5 out of 5 in total. What this means we're looking at is we have 2 plus 3, the times they got 5 out of 5 on day 2 and day 3, divided by the total for 5 out of 5, which was 7. So 2 plus 3 is 5, and that's over 7. 5 over 7 is our answer.